Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems.
Good morning. So I tell you, I do have to kind of like my life sometimes. And it's so funny the way that, how you doing, Maureen? But just before I came in here, it's funny because we were talking about the bathrooms, and now with our daughter, now in college, we have a spare bathroom. So we're talking about who's going to use what makes sense, since the other bathroom's right there through the door and all. Who's going to use what in the morning and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden I look down at my at my watch, and I'm like, oh my gosh. The last thing I said to her as I'm sitting there just kind of joking is that, well, you're the girl of the world and I'm a man with a plan. And I look at my watch and I'm like, I have 30 seconds. So that is how my morning is, and why I am grateful to have something like this, because it's like all of a sudden it's like, I need to shift gears before I start my day. I talk about that a lot, but man, shifting gears is important in my life. So that's the first time I heard that this morning. It automatically reminds us, feet can go flat on the floor, butt on the chair, shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. And ignore the fact that just 45 seconds ago, I was just all bouncing around. It really does. It feels like a light switch when I come in here. Good morning, Lee. Happy Thursday to you, too. So, what are we doing here? Other than making plans on who's going to use what bathroom for what. We are checking in with the universe. We are doing our daily inventory. And what's an inventory? It's when we go through our checklist. And our checklist asks, how are we doing today? What plans have we made for today? And as we look at our plans for the day, we think about the old adage, man plans and God laughs. But we are relaxed, and we are going to check in with the universe. Or as I like to say, the universe holds up a mirror and asks us, what do we see? And we're going to use the tarot to check that out. Just to see if there's any, once we breathe, we can think, oh man. And I'm thinking, it's like, do I have any angers or resentments? I'm doing pretty good today. Any tips or tricks from the universe? Hey, do I need patience? Do I need this or that? And we're going to ask the tarot what it thinks. So, I'm going to flip this. So, and I'm also getting ready for the event this after it's 4:30 at Attaboy Brewery in Frederick. So, what does the tarot have for us today? One extra breath, and then I'm going to make our 3 stacks. And each one of these is what? They're like a different thread going out to the universe. Each one of these is like a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack is one conversation. This stack will lead us down a different one. So, which path do we want to go down today? Let's take the bottom stack, which I like to think of as things that are underneath that we don't realize but can influence us. Then I'm going to take that extra sip of coffee. Perfect. Slowing down a bit. Just to relax. Okay, so flipping each card over one at a time like it is a page in a book. Today we have the Hierophant. Boy, this always tickles my little anti-religion heart because this is originally called the Pope, the Hierophant. So what is the Hierophant? So when we think about this card, we can think about, if we think about institutions, if we think about religion, or we think about those things that give us traditions, that give us the rules that we learn as kids so that we stay on the straight and narrow. It's not a bad thing. This is about following rules, doing what we're supposed to, doing what we know and have been taught is right. And as you can see, so here we have the formality that goes with it, because these are things that we're told that we are supposed to be doing. And this is also a teacher. But until we see the rest of the cards, we don't know if that's a good or bad thing, because in my world, sometimes breaking tradition, in my world, sometimes doing something other than what I was taught or told might be a good thing. Other times, it's important for me to remember what I've learned. So, oh well, now we have the Seven of Swords. So some people will look at this as, they call it the traitor card, but I don't see this card that way. Sevens are about potential and ambition, drive, trying to get things done. Swords are thoughts, swords are ideas, okay? And sevens are, in some sense, one of those lucky numbers, roll a lucky seven, but sevens are also an even number. So there can be like this conflict going on with the Seven of Swords, again, thoughts and ideas. So, but I do like how Pamela Coleman Smith has drawn this person, not as a traitor or something like that, but this person's kind of sneaking away. The way that I like to see the Seven of Swords, and I'll ask somebody when I'm sitting there, I have them in front of them, I'll ask them, have you ever done something when you're tired, you're not thinking clearly, it's been a long day, or you just under stress? Have you ever done something you normally wouldn't do? I mean, we've all said, God, I can't believe I did that. What was I thinking? So I think of this card more along the lines of, we're trying to get things done. We're taking shortcuts. Should we be doing this? Or should we be doing the way that, there's the traditional way, there's the way that things are supposed to happen. And that's what this card is about. It's about learning. It's about doing things by the book, the way we learn. But sometimes we just get so stressed out. Sometimes we're just tired. Sometimes we just need to get things done, and we do things sometimes we normally wouldn't. So the question I have is that he's looking over his shoulder. What is he looking at? It's the Nine of Cups. It's the wish card, traditionally called the wish card. So cups are about spirituality. Cups are about emotions. Cups are about feelings. Cups are the element of water. Nines are about completion, fulfillment. We work hard to go from, in numerology, from 1 to 9. So the question comes down to then is that as we're doing these things and we're trying to get things done, sometimes is it wrong to break the rules? I mean, yes, we're stressed and everything else. But there's a couple ways that I can go, and I'm excited to see what the advice card is here. Because, here's the traditions that we're supposed to be doing. Here's somebody that's looking over their shoulder, obviously breaking the rules. And here's somebody who's like, you know what? I'm almost thinking sometimes the ends do justify the means. And I don't want to say that in a negative way, but that's almost kind of what I'm seeing here. And it's funny, somebody had brought this up, so I don't know if I would go with this interpretation. 100%. But somebody once said, what if this person owns these swords? And they're like, there's a whole bunch of people here, and like the Pope is sitting in that tent over there. And he's like, you know what? I'm getting my swords and I'm getting out of here. These are my swords and I'm getting out of here. So that's about taking potential ambition and taking your swords and just going home. And I'm kind of liking that idea with this Seven of Swords right now, but it comes down to the advice cards, because sometimes, well, let's see. And we have another sword, and it is the Page of Swords. And what are pages? Pages are like when we're learning something new. A page is learning to become a knight, so the knight can learn to become a king and rule a kingdom. And so here we have this Page of Swords, and he's kind of got a defiant stance. He's not sitting here with both feet flat on the ground. There's a wind stirring here. We see the clouds. They've got their sword poised, even if they're leaning back. But it's like they're preparing. So a page is when we're doing something new. Page, and of course, court cards could be somebody else. They could be us, or they could be part of a situation. But I'm almost sitting here thinking that it's like, we're supposed to be doing things a particular way. Whether it's work, whether it's job, whether it's something like that. And sometimes we just get to the point where, you know what? I am stressed. I'm trying to do things the way people want. And sometimes it can feel almost like we're a traitor, if we want to use that word from the card. But sometimes, sometimes the ends do justify the means, especially if we disagree with the path, the plans, the ideas, the rules, we may suffer consequences, but sometimes it's like taking up our sword, like the page, and saying, you know what? The Pope, old, wise, has always done things that particular way, worked great in the 1950s, but that's not how Gen Xers are going to do it, right? They're going to take that sword, and they're going to take their 7, and they're going to roll that dice. So for today, as we're going through, and whether it is job, whether it is law, whether it is the banks, sometimes we try and do the right things. We try and do the right things per their thoughts, beliefs, ideas, what they've written down. And then sometimes we need to just be that 7 of Swords and say, all right, what was I thinking? It's like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I'm going to do this my way. It's almost like being selfish. But we need to try and remember the actual end goal. Maybe, who knows, if it's work, they're trying to do things one way. Maybe we know how to get to maybe we know the path. Maybe we know the road. But maybe we need to do it. Maybe they don't realize it, but we realize something. This is almost like trusting our instinct. We do stuff the way we're supposed to and told. And eventually, sometimes, we just like, you know what? I'm done with this. Either you want me to do what you want me to do, or you want me to get it done. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we need to come at it with a fresh idea and complete it. So maybe that's why this 7 is here, about the potential, about the ambition, about the drive to just get something done. Because we finally get so frustrated, we're just going to take the swords and we're going to do it ourselves. And then the benefit is that by breaking tradition, by breaking the rules, and I mean, again, consider what we're saying here when we say that. It's like, what are the rules? It's like, well, the rules are blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying to break the law, but it's about learning to do something a different way after we've tried to do it their way. We tried to do it their way. Now it's time to do it my way. We tried to do it their way. Now it's time to do it my way. Because we know, that we can get done with what we need to do, and we're going to feel good about it once it's done. So does that make sense? We tried to do it their way. I'm just finally done. I'm going to do something new with the advice card, and I'm just going to get it done. So, with that, I hope we have that amazing day. Amazing evening, amazing afternoon, wherever we are, whenever we're listening to this. So, you are very welcome, Maureen, and everybody else. Take care. Have fun. I will see you again tomorrow. I'm feeling really good today, and it's like, I'm going to keep this in. I'm almost thinking that I should do like a triage live stream, like at 9 o'clock at night, and say, okay, so today, we had this spread where it's like, there's the old way of doing it, there's a new way of doing it. How'd I reflect on that through my day? I think it would actually be interesting to do something like that. How was it? What was it today that I was at work that I was traditionally people did it this way, and I'm just like, you know what? Either we can do it your way or we can actually get something done. I was thinking about that. I doubt if I would have the time to do it, but it would be really interesting. So, take care today. Have fun. Have an amazing day. Take that breath. And remember the end goal. Some people say this person looks smug, but you know what? If we get it done, maybe we have a right to be smug every now and then. Take care. Have fun. And I will talk to you later.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards around.